anybody!
You need to be quiet.
Who is this?
I'm Clementine. This is my house.
You've been all by yourself through this?
Yeah, I want my parents to come home now.
I think that might be a little while.
Staying put for too long is a mistake. Those things are all over the damn place.
Personally, I'd appreciate the company of a guy who can knock a couple of heads together if he has to. I know who you are.
And I know you're a killer.
The world is ending out there. Who cares who I am?
I'm not crying, man.
It's okay, let it out, dude.
Man, my allergies acted up today. That's all.
Dude.
You're a damn pussy. Or I'm pretty sure that I'm actually just a horrible robot monster.
Oh, here we go. I think it's the latter, by the way.
Oh, here we go. See. You know, the real reason why I'm crying is because I'm gonna have to kill you, Jeff. I'm crying because I have to take a life, man. Don't do.
Corey,
I don't even know what you're gonna say. I get a feeling already. I just get a feeling you're gonna piss me off.
Let me help. Let me help, Corey. Jeff was bitten.
Good. Then I have an excuse to put a bullet in your head.
Okay, can I just before we even start this, can I just say, man, fuck Kenny, fuck that dude. I do not like that mustache having son of a bitch.
Dude, Kenny was my boy, and had we made it through, we would have overlooked the fact that he was probably a racist, and we would have gone to NASCAR together.
Or to a Klan rally, one or the other. No, man, if you don't know what the names of these characters are that we're talking about, or understand why we even having high emotions at this moment, well, we're talking about Telltale's The Walking Dead game. Everybody's heard of this game by this point if you are a true gamer. If for nothing else, people have been claiming this to be game of the year. And when you look at the game, a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, a point-and-click adventure, some choose-your-own-adventure shit that I did back in the day, in this day and age, you say that's game of the year? And I say yes to that, because it goes to prove that still the power of storytelling is very important. It's not always necessary, but it is a powerful thing, even in games.
Man, I don't know why you gotta do this shit to me, Corey. Why do you gotta be one of them zombie white knights, like all up on The Walking Dead? Like, it's a perfect game. There's no problems. Blah 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 blah. Like, look. Let's talk about this. All right?
Yeah. Let's lay it out.
Let's be real clear about this, okay? Anybody who's played a Telltale game knows exactly what's going on here. This is like Sam & Max. This is like mechanically, very mechanically. Sam & Max, Monkey Island, the Back to the Future. All these games have very similar kind of put together structure. It's point-and-click adventure. It's adventure games like you've had all the world over. It's pick this thing up and use it to get this door open. The big change in this game is that in between, you get to make split-second conversation decisions between shit, crap, I don't want to say that, and nothing at all. Because there's never a good thing to say in this game. This game is like...
That's not true. You exaggerate.
It's a great...
Go ahead, though.
No,
you and your lies.
I'm told... Jason, come on, man.
This game is determined to prove that everyone is a horrible, horrible person at heart.
Yeah.
It's just like... I was actually making decisions where I'm just like, oh, man, I hope I don't have to tell anybody what I picked.
Well, that's you. You make horrible decisions in games all the time.
It's true, but I felt
worst.
bad about these.
Well, you should, for a change, goddammit. And that's another thing to the testament of this game. It actually made you feel bad about something? Wow, I say that's an achievement.
This isn't a decision about kill the Rachni Queen or let the galaxy live in peace. This is like a gauntlet of the most horrible intrapersonal conversations that you could have every 5 minutes.
Is that what's bothering you guys? Is that the depressing nature of this game? Is that what we're going to rail against on this game here?
Okay, I'm not railing against it. I'm saying it put you in some no-win situations over and over and over. In fact, it shouldn't have been called The Walking Dead. It should have been called You're All Fucked, the video game.
And I want to be really, really crystal goddamn clear about this. I'm not saying this game was bad. I think this is the best game story I played all year. What I am saying is that this is not a happy game, and this is not a happy bunch of decisions you get to make. Especially if you play this game like I did, like in a couple of sittings where you're just marathoning through it instead of doing it like every month when it came out. This game can wear your ass down. It is a testament to how good the writing is in this game that I give a shit enough to even say, fuck that Kenny dude. That I feel the need to say, like, that video game guy really got on my goddamn nerves after a while.
Well, yeah, it's funny because other games give you these choices. Like, remember the other day, we were playing a game and it's like, okay, it was an old game, and you can say, okay, you can go 2 different ways. You can go to the Dark Woods, which sounds foreboding, probably not that good, or you can go to Demos Village. Which way would you like to go? It's like, okay, well, Demos Village, it's a village. What could go wrong? Here, no. It's like either one of these. It's like, okay, you're going to go to the Chamber of Forcible Sodomy, or you're going to go to Kicked in the Nuts Town until you pass outville.
All right. See, you guys, does everything have to be happy endings and rainbows?
I am not saying that.
You?
Do not put those words in my mouth. I am not saying that whatsoever. I am not saying that whatsoever. I'm not saying that. No, you're paraphrasing, motherfucker. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that this game, I think the storytelling, like I said before, in this game is the best story I've seen all year. It is also the most personal and depressing story that I've seen all year.
We got that point taken.
But
speaking of story right here, now this is not a continuation of the Walking Dead TV series. This is taking place in the universe that's created in the comic books. And so therefore, they've taken on the look of the comic book. What's deceiving here is that you have a look that can be sort of cartoony, which with these guys telling you that it's a very violent, gory, and depressing in mood game, you might be pulled into this thinking that it's not that way because all these characters have these big Disney eyes and they all look like Disney princesses almost. But do not be fooled by that. Now, when the game opens up, you play a character named Lee Everett. This is going to be your character through most of the game, with you controlling maybe a character here or there throughout small parts. But
not an unshaven white guy.
Yeah.
No, you're an unshaven black guy, and you're going to jail.
Damn you.
Surprise! You don't even know if you're innocent or if you've been wrongly convicted or if you actually did it. That doesn't matter because there's bigger things going on at this point. On your way to jail, a guy walks out in the middle of the road. You hit the guy. You find out that, hey, that guy is a zombie, just like most of the world right now. A zombie apocalypse has come upon the world, at least in Atlanta, as far as we can see, where the beginning of the story takes place. As you begin to realize how dangerous the world is, you run and you try to find things to survive. You run across a house, and in that house there's a tree house, and there's a little girl named Clementine in there. She can't find her parents. Her parents, they were out of town, and she was left with a babysitter. Babysitter's been eaten up or turned into a zombie or whatever, and you take it upon yourself to take care of this little girl. And throughout this adventure, you grow a father-son relationship with this little girl. You protect her not only. I mean, oops.
I know you mean that's not a baseball cap, Corey, but
that wasn't a boy. I was like, damn, that boy had a little sugar in his ass. Look like no, you form a father-daughter relationship with her. So you want not only to protect her against the zombies that are starting to populate around the world, but you also want to protect her against other human beings that are becoming just as dangerous. And I think that if you say that this is best game of the year, there is a caveat to that, of course. This is not a shooter. This is not fast-paced. This is something where you do watch more than you participate.
It's barely even a game.
Yeah, it's more interactive fiction than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
even when you compare it to other like adventure games have like a more broad inventory management. A lot of times you'll have to like take two things and put them together and then use them with this thing. But what it seems like they've done here is that Telltale's stripped that down to an almost insane amount, to the point where it almost at certain points doesn't even really matter. Like, I feel like they could have taken some of that stuff out of the game. The game wouldn't even have suffered because of it, just so that the puzzle-solving elements never, ever slow down the storytelling, which is the main focus.
Yeah, and I think that, do I think it's justified? You know, with all of us, we were kind of mockingly arguing with each other, but is it fair to call it Game of the Year? Well, no, not for everyone. But I do rest this on one criteria of what makes this such a great game for me. Besides the emotion, some people don't need emotional value in a game. Some people just want to kill things and have fun and have an exciting time and get out of there. Very fast-paced, exciting time. But I do like story, and I agree with you, Jeff, that this is probably one of the most moving stories that I've seen, not only this year, but in years. Anything that makes me cry, and from what I hear, a lot of people who have played this game cry at the end of it. I think that's special. But let's just say that you're not into the emotional aspects of game. You know, what if you are calling me a little pussy-ass motherfucker right now? Yeah, well,
Not out loud.
You know, well, I don't know. Unless your name is Jeff.
I did out loud, actually, a few minutes
Oh,
ago.
yeah, several times. But, well, actually, I think you left the motherfucker part off, but you did say pussy. But for me, I think it's important not just for games, but any kind of media. What makes it above average is how much do I want to come back to that? What's my eagerness to complete it? And this is right up there for a game that I thought getting into it. I'm not into these kind of games. I'm gonna tell you right now. I do not like games that I'm. It looks like it sounds like I'm criticizing people who want fast, exciting games. And I'm one of those people. I love that. I would never think I'd play a game like this. And I normally would not make this my regular gameplay, but it made me want to come back to it every time I finish something else. I can't tell you how many sleepless nights I had staying up because I bought the whole packet.
Yeah.
And I just played one episode after another. And there was one night I did a marathon of about 3 episodes, and I did not go to bed. And that's because I really want to see what would happen
Damn,
next.
dude, there's only 5 episodes total.
Yeah. I played it in like 2 sittings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
seriously,
kinda long.
but I have to tell you, I did that thing though where I did play around. I went back and tried some decisions over again and replayed some things. And say that's another thing. I want to see how my decisions would affect things. I will say that I think that's a small flaw in the game, in that they give you all these decisions to make, and they really don't make that much of a difference.
It's an incredible artifice. Like, when you're playing the game, it makes you feel like your decisions are making all the difference in the world. Later on, when you go and you kind of try playing back through it to try to change certain events or change certain big things that happen over the course of the game, you are going to start to realize that it is simply artifice. It is not a real, like, it's not like in the middle of this game you could have all of these different scenarios where it could be in totally different places or totally different people, either be alive or dead, or different people in your party. There is a very kind of linear story structure to this game, and most of what you're going to be making decisions about are going to be the degrees to which other people don't like your character and who doesn't like your character.
Yeah. But if the big decisions, like who lives, who dies, if somebody's going to die, they're going to die. You may postpone that or accelerate it, but they're going to die.
They do that, man, because I thought I saved somebody's life. Because I don't want to spoil anything. Look, small spoiler here, small one. Can I put a small one out there?
Not for this game.
It'll take 2 minutes. It'll take 2 minutes, because I just got to say this. I thought my character was about to get laid. I was macking on this chick. I thought I was saying the wrong things, and they killed her ass, and there was nothing I could do. I was mad about that shit.
So Corey jumps up and reload.
Yes, I did. No, you think I'm bullshit. I tried to see if my decision would actually turn out different. It wasn't, will I say this little girl is, man, am I going to get the fuck later on this game? And it never happened. That chick was going to die no matter what. And the game also made me want to come back to see what would happen to other characters, because there are characters, you love characters in this, but most of these characters you hate. And I always wanted to come back where one episode would end, and I'd be like, wait a minute, I know that bitch didn't do that. And I had to go to the next episode to see if she would get her comeuppance or whatever. So, yeah, I was really drawn into this. I'm sorry, Jason, you were about to say something.
Oh, no, it's really like Jeff was saying the other day. It's a diamond of a thing. It starts off broad, and you think that it's all that there are a lot of options there, but ultimately it's going to come to the same point.
Yeah,
you know, there's only one ending to this game, and it's really disappointing when you learn that you can't affect anything. It's all just how it plays out, you know? And really, it's most of the decisions you make are cosmetic.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, you know, like, once again, I don't think any of us here want to hold that against the game, because while you're playing it, you really get into it. Like, there were times where I would, character be on the screen doing something, and I would just kind of inadvertently be like, hey, fuck you, pal. Like,
buddy.
yeah. Like there was actually sometimes I wish that there was that renegade option in Mass Effect where you could be like, let's see, yes, no, go fuck yourself. Oh, what's this right trigger? Oh, hit you in the head with a fucking axe and you're out of this party. Awesome.
Yeah. There's some guy. I mean, I was probably more emotionally invested in this game than just about any other game ever. I haven't had moments like that since like the end of Red Dead Redemption, and just a few others. But there were some guys where I was like, "All right, motherfucker, first chance I get, I'm leaving you behind. First chance I get," and then of course that chance comes up to leave them behind or put them out of their misery or something like that. It's just like, well, no question, question.
Man, but it's like it's like watching a polite TV show, or a TV show that says, you know what, if you really like us, we're going to show you what it's like to feel the impact of some of these characters. Even though you don't have too much of a branch to go off on in this game, there's certain things you're going to do. That whole thing of putting somebody out of their misery, when you have to make these hard decisions, it really does make a difference being a participant, even if it's a light participant. When you have to do these things, they really do impact you emotionally. And there was a couple of times in the game where I teared up. I don't cry at these points in movies anymore when I see this, but the fact that I had to just simply make one of those 4 answers that would choose somebody's fate at the end of it, I was like, oh.
Yeah. And not just that, but sometimes you have 2 seconds to decide.
Yeah. And I will say that this game, unlike a lot of other games that I've played this year, there were at least, that I could think of, 3 different, there's more like half dozen, say, different points in this game where I was doing something and the game literally shocked the shit out of me. Like I was doing something and then something would happen. I would jump up in my chair and go, "Oh fuck! What? Oh shit, man!" It was really good at doing that. It takes a really good story and a really clever game to get you involved to the point where when something like that happens, you do actually feel the surprise and shock and emotion at what's going on.
Well, probably something that helps out with that is, listen, again, don't be fooled by these cute visuals here and these cartoony visuals. It's a very violent game. It's a very gory, violent game, and not only with the zombies, but there are things that human beings do to each other in this that you forget that cartoon shit after a while. I mean, it's like, hey, shit is real.
Well,
okay?
they
smear real human tragedy.
They smear enough shit on the cartoons to make it look good. I mean, these look like if you were to take the textures on these people and just flatten them out color wise, this would look like a Saturday morning cartoon show. But they've all got. All look like they've just been dipped into the dirt of all of humanity and pulled out again. Like, nobody in this game could wash their face to save their goddamn life.
It's like, grab a new shirt. There are shirts everywhere. Anything you want to wear. Anything at all.
Well, that's why they truly are like cartoon characters. They wear the same thing through the whole game. They're like, hey, you know how Yogi Bear and Fred Flintstone and Scooby-Doo in the game, they all wear the same clothes because the animators just don't want to animate different clothes every week? That's what these characters are. They are cartoon characters, and they make no mistake. Yeah. But they're cartoon characters in the most tragic, disturbing cartoon you will ever watch. I got a question for you guys, though. Now, do any of you keep up with The Walking Dead, the TV show?
I can't watch it because I work for Spill.com.
What?
5 minutes after that show goes off the air, that entire right-hand bar fills up with spoilers.
It does.
I'm not going to right now I can't watch it because right now I'm safe because I don't know who these people are, and when they spoil them, it doesn't affect me. But if I was actually watching that show, and God forbid I didn't watch it as soon as it was on, no way I could work for this website and not just
one
get
guy
spoiled.
did that to me. He didn't do it to me personally, but somebody I'd be damned, man. Right after a show went off, right after an episode, somebody got on the sidebar just said, "Hey, can you believe that so and so died?" Like, Jesus! I just wrote the guy. I said, "Really, man?
Yeah.
Why would you do that shit? Come on." But the reason why I ask you that question is because, and I'm going to be fair here. I don't want to criticize the show because they work under different circumstances. The show has to write shows every week, or for a certain amount of weeks ahead of time. They have to come back for another season. This is pretty much a story in the game right here, a story that I'm sure they were able to take their time on and wrap things up tightly. And because of that, again, taking nothing away from the show, but I really enjoy the writing in this game more than I do the show right now.
It's a testament to how much more I think it's just a testament to the way to video games. To when you have a voice in a story, it makes that story that much more engaging. I mean, any story is going to be more interesting if you feel like you're part of it instead of just a spectator watching it. And that is the whole basis of this game, is on you taking part in this story and giving you the ability to get involved with these tragic actions. And I think that's the strongest part of the entire game.
Yeah. Jason, I know you got to get out of here. So do you guys just want to give your wrap-ups and ratings?
Well, I just real briefly, I want to this is the
yes.
This is the part.
You crying right now?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do this, but it needs to be said that this is not like, if from just a straight up adventure game perspective, this is not the most perfect game in the entire universe. I'm going to say, first of all, that I played it on the PlayStation and it had some technical problems. It had hiccups and it was slow in certain places and slow down. I know that's not true with every version, but I'm just saying that was there. I think this game needed a run button more than anything in any video game ever needed anything ever, because having to watch Lee blithely stroll over to something when there's a million zombies on the other side of this fence is not by the fifth time I did, I was just like, come on, you guys, we can't just run here. And like I said before, the actual puzzle solving in this game, if you're a fan of these types of games for puzzle solving, I'm not taking anything off. It's just, you need to know that this is not that kind of game.
Yeah, this isn't Myst.
Right, or even Monkey Island, or even Grim Fandango. This is a piece of interactive fiction more than anything else. And I don't want any of that stuff to be counted as a bad thing. It's just that people have been hyping the shit out of this game all year. They've been talking about how it's an absolutely perfect game, and when that happens, it's hard not to be really critical about something when you never hear a single bad thing about a thing. So I feel those are things that people may need to know about the game before they buy it. But as far as ratings go, this game is $20 for 5 episodes, and that's a lot of game content. There's absolutely no question. This is 101 million billion % worth $20, and everybody out there should play this as long as you don't mind getting, maybe not all in a row if you don't have a strong stomach for people are assholes and those kinds of stories.
And someone to call,
right?
In the middle of the night. I can't believe what I did to Larry.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it just a straight up high full price.
I would give it a full price as well. It is barely a video game, like I was saying. It's great. It is one of the most well executed stories in the video game medium that I have ever seen. The voice acting, just all of the decisions and the plots and everything. It does crib a little too close to the comic book and to beats that are hitting that, if you're familiar with it. There's a lot of little story moments where it's like, oh, they did this exactly in the video game, but in a different scenario. So, there's some repeated moments there that hold it back a little bit. I still give it a full price. It's well worth the money and well worth the experience. Unfortunately, there's really not as much replayability as you would think, because it is deceptively linear. And again, like we were saying, your decisions don't make as much of an impact as you would think.
Yeah. I mean, the criticisms that you give, except for the running, I mean, I don't know. I really didn't notice that, but there's a lot of criticisms that are brought up on this that I think are valid that you guys made, and I would even add on to that. As far as the story goes, we're talking about how great the story is. Look, this is a zombie apocalypse, and this game, I think one of the biggest faults is that even with as great as the story is, they can't help but hit some of those cliches that go along with the zombie apocalypse. You'll know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's certain obligations now that people have, unnecessary obligations that people have to a zombie apocalypse, and they don't miss those in the story. I mean, they're terribly cliched, and they're here. But along with that, I would say that, the game is deceptively simple. Don't let it make you think. I mean, they say you're going down this path. Oh, you got a choice of turning here. No, you don't. They sit you on that road and you're going straight, okay, no matter how often you think that you're going to make a turn left or right. Outside of that, though, I think one of the biggest argument for saying that this is Game of the Year is that this is a phenomenon. They managed to take a format that a lot of people thought was probably outdated for all intents and purposes today, and they've managed to make it something not only new, but something that probably will bring you emotionally into any game that you play this year. And I never, as I mentioned before, I never thought that something like this would be able to make me come in and say, hey, for a game that I don't have total control over, out of all these games that I played this year, this is going to be the one that's going to open my eyes and say, man, that was something that I cannot wait to keep coming back to and playing. That's, to me, that says something about the game itself. And I would, after you're done with it, though, do you want to come back? Not really, because you played it. If anything, you probably want to come back and just watch it again. And you can't really do that unless you're going back and watch it on YouTube. But besides all of that, I played this on the iPad, and I got the whole package. And for the money, for working on the iPad, it's very smooth. Didn't have any hiccups, any problems. Nothing was erratic. It worked great, better than I thought it would on my iPad. And having to do things with my finger, that was very intuitive. Had no problem with that whatsoever. So you have so many, yeah. I use my fingers for other things, but my hands, that's a different story for myself. No, it's well worth the money. I even think I got mine at a bargain because I bought all 5 episodes at one time because I got this after everything had come out. So, yeah, you got really nothing to lose here. But be warned, if you don't like these kind of games, if you're totally against them, then don't get it. Don't be one of those assholes who comes on the comment section and say, hey, man, I played this and I hate pointing and clicking everywhere. Well, it wasn't for you in the first place, all right? So don't do that. You know who you are. Don't do that. But everybody else, yes, check it out. Full price.
Okay. Well, now the only question is, when the hell does season 2 come out? You goddamn cliffhanger assholes. I finished this last night. I want instant gratification. Now.
I hear this one's going to be uplifting and maybe even have a musical number.
Yeah. Is it going to have a happy ending like in Mass Effect 3 where everybody has cake and a big party at the end?
Yeah.
Hey, I do not need a season 2 just yet. I just decided not to pull the trigger and blow my brains out. I need a little bit of a break. So let's wait.
Corey's playing Walking Dead. We got to go check on him. Somebody run by his apartment.
I'm sorry, man. Oh, sorry I wasn't here.